Hey, everybody. My name is Crystal and welcome to my channel. In this video, I am joining a collaboration hosted by Meg over at Lovely Jubbly Furniture. This challenge is all about glitter and gold and shine and diamonds and all the sparkly stuff. So I'm super excited because I'm going to be doing something that I've never done before, but it's something I've always wanted to try. So I am starting out by painting. I already did all of my prep work and everything. I didn't want to bore you guys with all of that fun stuff that really isn't that fun. But I've already given it a light scuff sanding and I cleaned it really well. And I'm using a krylon chalk paint that I found on the mist tent aisle over at Lowe's or Home Depot. I can't remember which one it was. So, this is a new to me paint. I have not tried this kind before, but it was only $7. I think normal price is like $24. So I said, what the heck? I will try this. I really loved this blue color. It's like a very regal royal blue, and it's not something I would normally pick, but I'm like, okay, well, for $7, I'm gonna go ahead and try it. And I'm gonna give you a little review right now on this paint. I personally do not like Krylon brand paints, so I was a little weary about that. But as far as chalk paint goes, it's not really very chalky. It doesn't have that feel to it, but the adhesion is amazing. The coverage is amazing, and I really liked it. So for $7, I feel like I hit the jackpot on this one. So if you have ever tried this paint, let me know down in the comments what you think about it. I also picked up this really pretty emerald green on the mist tint section, and it's just a regular latex type wall paint. I'm taking it and I'm kind of dry brushing and blending it on top of the blue paint. Um, I'm doing the bottom of the legs and on the corners and around the edges. I am using a natural bristle brush and kind of tapping out any excess paint out onto a cardboard box I have laying down. And then I'm just kind of taking my softer bristle brush and just spreading it out a little bit and making the edges a bit softer. Then I'm coming back in with my blue, same thing, tiny small amount of blue with my softer brush, and I'm tapping out all the excess, and then I'm just lightly blending my paints together. I'm using these stamps from Redesigned by Prima. The stamps are called Bohemian Florals. I'm using some Rust-Oleum metallic paints and some like craft metallic paint and copper. I think the gold is more, it's more like a champagne-y type gold, but I'm taking my brayer and I'm rolling it out, the paint all over the brayer, and then I'm rolling over top of the stamp. Then I kind of have to figure out where I'm going to line my stamp up to. And this was a little bit hard because the stamp wanted to slide. So I had a little bit of trouble with this because this Rust-Oleum metallic paint was just so thin and like slimy. But it's also really forgiving too. So just keep a damp washcloth handy and you can wipe anything off and do it again if you make a mistake. I had to do this a lot. It's really a lot of fun though. If you haven't tried using stamps on furniture, you totally should. This is like the second project I've done this on, and I'm just so hooked on it. Some raised stenciling. I have this icing paste, and oh my gosh, this stuff is so old. I don't even think I've ever used it. I think I just opened it just to see what it was like, and then put the lid on it and never looked at it again for probably like 3 years. So the consistency was kind of perfect for a raised stencil. It was really thick, and I don't know if that's how it should be, but I just used I actually think this is a wallpaper scraper. So I put it on there and I'm just kind of pulling this icing paste along over top of the stencil and just trying to be careful that I don't press too hard or too, um, I guess, inward as I'm pulling it across. Otherwise, it will kind of go underneath of the stencil and it can, you know, um, go where you don't want it to go. This icing paste is like a pearl color, so I thought it would work really good for this challenge because it's kind of shiny and fits that theme. And then when you're finished, you just kind of need to slowly pull it off. You can see my first attempt. I pulled probably a little too hard and pulled off some of my raised stenciling with my stencil. So I kind of just laid everything back down and did my best to fix it. I found this gorgeous decoupage paper on Zazzle.com, and I'm using a clear transparent gel as my medium to adhere my decoupage paper onto this jewelry stand. So I'm just using one of my Wooster brushes, and I am just kind of going over it with my paintbrush. I already kind of determined my layout of my papers where I wanted them to be. So I did not um, I did have a plan. I didn't just put it on there and not know exactly what I was doing. So I put my clear transparent gel on there and then I put my paper on there. And I'm going to use my brayer to kind of flatten everything out. And that worked really well versus just using your fingers and your hands to try and get all the wrinkles out. It did get most of the wrinkles out, so I was happy about that. Once my decoupage medium was completely dry, I went over the edges with a high grit sandpaper so that way I could remove all of the salvage areas that I wanted to take off. I'm using like a little X-Acto blade cutter thing, and I'm just kind of going around the outside of my drawers so that I can open the drawers. And I'm just making like a perforated edge. I'm going to need to go over these areas with my decoupage medium and glue them down once I'm finished. And I'm also going to need to touch up some of the areas where the paper kind of got damaged and like the under layers are exposed and it kind of looks white. But I'm just going to take some of the blue paint and a small artist brush and kind of just disguise all those little areas with my blue paint. I also added some glitter to my raised stencils, and I added some more raised stencils, and I added some more regular stencils, and then I did some more stamps right on top of the decoupage paper, and I also painted my handles in the gold color so they would just pop and stand out. Let's have a quick before picture before we see the after. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you had fun, most of all. So much thanks to Meg from Lovely Jubbly Furniture for hosting this challenge. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And make sure you check out the playlist, and I will link that below so you can see all of the awesome YouTube content creators and furniture artists that will be joining and participating in this challenge. Thanks again, you guys, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.